Now the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een were faced with all these new problems which they had not faced at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Problems regarding which there was no clear indication in the Quran and Sunnah that this is the solution to this problem. What did the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een do? They turned to making ijtihad. Ijtihad is the reasoning process through which laws are deduced after thorough research. This is ijtihad. The reasoning process through which laws, Islamic laws are deduced after thorough research. So the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een turned to ijtihad. And it was from here, at the time of Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een, we had the third and fourth source of legislation of Islamic jurisprudence. The third source was ijma. Ijma is the unanimous agreement of the Sahaba or the scholars on an aspect of deen. And qiyas, analogical deduction. So at the time of the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een, we had another two sources of Islamic legislation, and they were ijma, the unanimous agreement of the Sahaba on an aspect of deen, and fourth was qiyas. Now the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een didn't turn to ijtihad out of their desire. The reason the Sahaba turned to ijtihad, because the foundation of this had also been laid by Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam himself. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam himself would turn to making ijtihad when such a problem arose regarding which as yet there was no revelation. For example, at the time of the Battle of Tabuk, when the Muslims had to fight with the kuffar, a few hypocrites came to Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam and they began to ask Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam permission not to participate in this battle. Now as yet there was no revelation whether they should be given permission or whether they should not be given permission. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam made ijtihad, and through ijtihad he gave these hypocrites permission not to participate in this battle. Another example, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam made ijtihad with regard to the captives of the Battle of Badr. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam asked the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een regarding the prisoners of Badr, what should be done with them? Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, Ya Rasulullah, ashiratuk farsilhum. Wa Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, they are from your tribe, free them. While Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, uqtulhum, kill them. Now no verse regarding these captives had been revealed, there was no revelation. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam made ijtihad and he freed the captives of Badr by taking ransom. So Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, when such a problem arose regarding which there was no revelation, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam also turned to ijtihad. Not only did Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam turn to ijtihad, he approved of the ijtihad of the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een. Ibn al-Qayyim relates that when Sayyidina Mu'az was sent to Yemen by Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam asked Sayyidina Mu'az, O Mu'az, كيف تصنع إن أرى لك كذا? O Mu'az, if you are faced with a problem, how will you tackle this problem? Sayyidina Mu'az ibn Jabal radiallahu ta'ala anhu replied, Ya Rasulullah, aqdi bima fi kitabillah. I will look for the answer in the book of Allah, and if I can find the answer in the book of Allah, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, I will do exactly the same. This is how I will solve the problem. Nabi alayhi salatu wa sallam asked, فَإِن لَمْ يَكُنْ فِي كِتَابِ اللَّهِ. O Mu'az, if the answer and solution is not in the book of Allah, what will you do? He says, بِسُنَّةِ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صلى الله عليه وسلم. Ya Rasulullah, I will look in your sunnah, and if I can find the solution inside your sunnah, I will do accordingly and I will judge accordingly. Nabi alayhi salatu wa sallam said to Sayyidina Mu'az, O Mu'az, فَإِن لَمْ يَكُنْ فِي سُنَّةِ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صلى الله عليه وسلم. And if you cannot find the solution in the sunnah of Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم, what will you do? Sayyidina Mu'az ibn Jabal radiallahu ta'ala anhu replied, Ya Rasulullah, أَجْتَهِدُ رَأْيِي. O Messenger of Allah, I will make ijtihad. Nabi alayhi salatu wa sallam was pleased with Sayyidina Mu'az ibn Jabal radiallahu ta'ala anhu. He trusted Sayyidina Mu'az radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and he prayed for Sayyidina Mu'az, Alhamdulillah alladhi waffaqa Rasulillah lama yurdi Rasulullah. All praise to the one who has given tawfiq to the messenger of Allah to do that thing which pleases the messenger of Allah. So not only did Nabi alayhi salatu wa salam make ijtihad, Nabi alayhi salatu wa salam approved of the ijtihad of the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een. So it was because of this, when the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een were faced with a problem which was undefined in the Quran and Sunnah, the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een turned to ijtihad, and this is how they would solve their problems. ميمون ابن مهران relate كانوا أبو بكر إذا ورد عليه حكم نظر في كتاب الله. Whenever Sayyidina Abu Bakr faced a problem, his first step was look in the book of Allah. If it was solved from the book of Allah, that's how he would rule. If the solution was not found in the book of Allah, the second step, نظر في سنة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu would look in the sunnah of Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم. If he didn't possess the answer to this problem, he would ask the people, do you know whether Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam regarding this problem said anything? Sometimes the answer would be in the affirmative, and somebody would stand up and say, قَضَى فِيهِ بِكَذَا وَكَذَا. Yes, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam was faced with a problem like this, and this is how Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam solved the problem. However, if nobody possessed the sunnah or the solution to this problem, then the hadith states, Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu would gather the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhu ajma'in. He would gather the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhu ajma'in, he would present this problem to them, and the Sahaba would make ijtihad. The Sahaba would make ijtihad. And if all the Sahaba came to an agreement to one solution, this became ijma, the unanimous agreement of the Sahaba on an aspect of deen. This became ijma, and Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu would then judge accordingly. For example, the compiling of the Quran. Now the compiling of the Quran was a problem Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu faced. At the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you should know that the Quran was not compiled in the form of a book as we have it today. Yes, the Quran at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had been written, and written in totality, and written in the presence of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and checked by Nabi alayhi salatu wasallam himself. But the Quran had not been compiled in the form of a book as we have it today. Now what happened is, in the battle of Yamama, many Qurra who had memorized the Quran by heart were martyred in this battle. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu came to Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and he suggested to Sayyidina Abu Bakr, "Oh Abu Bakr, it is a good thing that it would be good if you compile the Quran, because many of the Qurra have passed away. And if the Qurra, those that have memorized the Quran, keep on dying in battles like this, then the Quran will be lost." Now this was a problem which they did not face at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Secondly, it was a problem regarding which there was no clear indication in the Quran and Sunnah that yes, the Quran should be compiled, or no, the Quran should not be compiled. So when Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu was faced with this problem, he gathered the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhu ajma'in. All the Sahaba made ijtihad, and all the Sahaba agreed that yes, the Quran should be compiled, and this became ijma. So this is how Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu would solve the problem. The Sahaba would get together, and then they would make ijtihad. If they all agreed, it would become ijma. However, if the Sahaba, after making ijtihad, could not come to an agreement, and there are many instances where the Sahaba did not agree. For example, the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'in differed with regards to a free woman marrying a slave. After how many talaq, divorces she receives, she will become haram on the slave. Now the masla regarding a free woman marrying a free man is clear. Once a free woman receives 3 talaq from her husband, which is a free man, she will become haram on him. She is no longer his wife. Where is the masla if a free woman marries a slave? How many talaq will she receive that she will become haram on this slave? Now the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'in differed with regards to this. There were some Sahaba who would give the fatwa, Sayyidina Uthman was one of them, that after receiving 2 talaq, 2 divorces, she will become haram on her husband who is a slave. And they looked at the masla from this angle. They said, the person who holds the authority to give a talaq is the man. Is the man who gives the talaq. And the man in question here is a slave. Now a slave has the authority to give 2 talaq. So after this woman has received 2 talaq, she will become haram on her husband. Other Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhu majma'in, like Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, would look at the problem from this angle. And they would say that after she has received 3 talaq, she will become haram on him. And they looked at the masla from this angle, that